Welcome to Royal Secret. In a moment that caught the nation's attention and reignited pride in the Danish monarchy, Queen Margrethe II made an emotional and highly anticipated public appearance at the majestic Fredensborg Palace. But this wasn't just any appearance. This was a return, a statement, a moment steeped in meaning. The Queen, who recently stepped down after more than 5 decades on the throne, emerged once more, not to command power, but to celebrate excellence. And where better to do it than Fredensborg, the palace that has long served as both a royal retreat and a symbol of continuity for the Danish royal family. Under the soft golden light of an early summer afternoon, with neatly manicured gardens and the pristine architecture of the palace forming a perfect backdrop, Queen Margrethe stood poised and radiant. Her presence alone sparked waves of emotion through the gathered audience, a mix of politicians, artists, scientists, and rising Danish talents. This wasn't just a prize ceremony. It was a moment of unity, celebration, and nostalgia. So, what prize did the Queen present? Why is this event being called one of the most heartfelt public acts by a royal in recent Danish history? And what does it say about the evolving role of the monarchy? Let's take you deep inside Fredensborg Palace, beyond the iron gates and the polished corridors, to uncover every remarkable detail of this unforgettable day. Fredensborg Palace isn't just any palace, it's one of Denmark's most significant royal residences, often dubbed the royal family's home away from Amalienborg. Nestled in the picturesque landscapes of North Zealand, the 18th-century Baroque-style palace has borne witness to some of the most intimate and historic moments in Danish royal history. This is where generations of royals have celebrated anniversaries, mourned losses, hosted state dinners, and entertained world leaders. But beyond its formal duties, Fredensborg holds a softer place in the heart of Queen Margrethe. It's where she spent quiet autumns, family birthdays, and many reflective moments throughout her reign. So, for Queen Margrethe to choose this venue for her return to public life speaks volumes. It was personal, it was symbolic, it was her statement that even though she has stepped back from power, she has not stepped away from service. At exactly 2 p.m., a gentle hush swept across the palace courtyard as the royal car slowly rolled in. Cameras clicked, guests stood, whispers turned into gasps, and then, with the grace and poise that has defined her reign, Queen Margrethe stepped out. Wearing a soft lavender gown with a subtle silver brooch shaped like a crown, a piece said to have belonged to her own mother, the Queen appeared visibly moved. Her signature white gloves, matching handbag, and pearl earrings completed a look that was both royal and deeply nostalgic. She waved gently to the crowd, many of whom were quietly wiping tears from their eyes. After all, this was the first time the Queen had taken part in a high-profile public engagement since passing the baton to her son, King Frederik X. And there was something in her gaze, a mix of dignity, resilience, and joy. As she ascended the palace steps to the grand podium, one could sense that something profound was about to unfold. The prize presented by Queen Margrethe was none other than the Fredensborg Cultural and Scientific Achievement Award, a prestigious annual honor given to a Danish citizen who has made outstanding contributions to the nation's intellectual and artistic life. This year, the award was given to Dr. Margrethe Thorsen, a brilliant neuroscientist and mental health advocate whose research has transformed how Denmark approaches adolescent mental health in schools. Her work, combining science, psychology, and social innovation, has made her a household name. And now, receiving the award from Queen Margrethe herself. It was a full-circle moment for both women. As Queen Margrethe read the citation in her signature deliberate Danish, the crowd fell silent. In a world that too often forgets the importance of the mind, you have reminded us to care, to question, and to understand. You have not only advanced science but strengthened the soul of our nation. A standing ovation followed. The Queen then stepped forward, placing the award, a golden medallion shaped like a laurel wreath, into Dr. Thorsen's hands. There was a brief, unchoreographed moment where the two women embraced gently. It wasn't just ceremonial, it was deeply human. The Queen, known for her eloquent and often philosophical addresses, did not disappoint. Taking to the microphone, her voice calm but strong, she spoke not just as a monarch, but as a citizen, one deeply committed to the intellectual and emotional growth of her country. I stand here not as your queen, but as Margrethe, as someone who believes that knowledge and kindness are the twin engines of our society. We must continue to honor those who use their minds and hearts for the good of others." She paused, looked up at the crowd, and then, in an almost whisper-like tone, added, "It is in moments like this that I feel the greatest pride. Not for myself, but for Denmark." There were no dry eyes left in the courtyard. As the formalities concluded and the Queen returned inside the palace for a private reception with the laureates and guests, the atmosphere outside remained electric. A group of children from a nearby school waved Danish flags and sang a soft rendition of the national anthem. Elderly citizens clutched royal photos from decades past, and younger Danes took selfies with the palace in the background, proudly captioning them with phrases like, "I saw Queen Margrethe today, and she smiled at me." Social media exploded within hours. Clips of the Queen's speech trended across Denmark and even internationally. Hashtags like #Dronning Margrethe returns, #Fredensborg moments, and #Royal Pride DK shot to the top of trending lists. But more than anything, the moment sparked renewed conversation around the enduring role of the monarchy in Danish life, and how Queen Margrethe, even in retirement, continues to shape the heart of the nation. While the public basked in the regal spectacle unfolding in the courtyard, a quieter, more intimate scene was being prepared within the hallowed halls of Fredensborg Palace. After presenting the award and delivering a moving speech outside, Queen Margrethe stepped into the Grand Marble Hall, where the private reception for award recipients and select dignitaries was held. Every detail of the space reflected Queen Margrethe's eye for elegance and cultural symbolism. The room was adorned with white roses, her favorite flower, arranged in tall crystal vases. Light streamed through tall windows, illuminating tapestries that dated back centuries, each one telling a story of Denmark's long and storied monarchy. But the Queen was not there to simply be admired. She was engaged, animated, laughing softly as she moved from group to group, speaking to professors, students, and cultural icons. It was a rare chance for the people behind Denmark's greatest intellectual and creative achievements to speak face to face with the woman who had led their country for over 50 years. One guest described the atmosphere as electric and tender, saying, "It wasn't just a reception, it felt like a family reunion, where Denmark's greatest minds had come home." As the reception unfolded, the royal family added yet another surprise. King Frederik X and Queen Mary entered the Marble Hall just moments after Queen Margrethe, a deliberate move that signaled a message of unity and continuity. The Danish royal couple, both dressed in understated yet regal attire, offered heartfelt congratulations to Dr. Maha Thorsen and the other honorees. But more significantly, their interaction with Queen Margrethe was the focus of the room. Queen Mary greeted her mother-in-law with a warm embrace, whispering something that made Margrethe smile. King Frederik, visibly emotional, was seen holding his mother's hand for several long seconds before stepping back and applauding as she took her seat near the fireplace. This subtle yet powerful gesture from the monarch to his mother, the former sovereign, was rich in symbolism. It told a story of respect, love, and the seamless transition of power that Denmark has witnessed in recent months. Observers noted that this event, although focused on a cultural prize, quickly became a visual lesson in leadership, humility, and royal solidarity. The Fredensborg Cultural and Scientific Achievement Award, while not as internationally known as the Nobel or the Polar Prize, carries profound meaning within Denmark. Instituted by Queen Margrethe herself in 1994, the award was designed to bridge the gap between the royal institution and Denmark's vibrant cultural and academic communities. Each year, the award honors a Dane, or sometimes an international contributor to Danish life, whose work strengthens not only the country's reputation but also its values of curiosity, compassion, and public service. Past recipients have included novelists, marine biologists, composers, architects, and teachers. But this year, Drive Thorsen's recognition marked a new turn, a deeper national conversation about mental health, youth support, and the power of science in shaping social policy. Queen Margrethe, who once studied archaeology and is an artist in her own right, has long been an advocate of combining intellect with empathy. She has repeatedly said in public speeches that a nation does not grow simply by expanding its borders or its economy, it grows when its people learn to understand one another better. That spirit was alive and breathing inside Fredensborg Palace. As the event wrapped up, royal experts across Scandinavia and Europe were quick to analyze its deeper meaning. Danish royal historian Lars Andersen noted, This was Queen Margrethe's quiet masterstroke. She left the throne. Yes, but she has not left the stage. And what she's doing now is reshaping the role of a retired monarch, something we've rarely seen in modern times. He continued. It's not quite abdication. It's transformation. She's becoming Denmark's cultural matriarch. Another expert, Sweden-based royal correspondent Anna-Lena Jorgensen, suggested that this event, with its elegant fusion of past, present, and future, set a new benchmark for royal transitions globally. Other monarchies should be paying attention, she said. What Denmark has done with Margrethe's graceful exit and Frederik's humble rise is being watched across Europe, especially in places like Spain, the UK, and the Netherlands. Interestingly, palace insiders have revealed that Queen Margrethe planned this surprise appearance weeks in advance, but only shared the final decision with her staff days before the event. Known for her meticulous nature, the Queen reportedly approved every floral arrangement, seating plan, and even hand-edited the final version of the award citation. One palace aide, speaking anonymously, said, "She may no longer be the ruling queen, but she hasn't lost her touch. Every single detail still passes through her hands. Her love for her country and her role is unchanged." In fact, sources say that Queen Margrethe originally considered not attending the ceremony in person, fearing that it might take attention away from the prize recipients. But ultimately, she was convinced that her presence would add emotional depth to the event, not overshadow it. She was right. On the streets of Copenhagen, Aarhus, Odense, and even in smaller towns, Danes gathered around television screens and phone displays to watch the royal livestream or the evening news coverage. Tears were shed, toasts were made, stories were shared. Social media was flooded with photos of Queen Margrethe holding the award, of her hugging Drive Thorsen, of the royal family standing side by side. Many Danes referred to it as a defining moment of the year. Even opposition politicians, typically skeptical of royal expenditure and traditions, publicly praised the event. One parliament member tweeted, "Today, our former queen reminded us that true leadership is timeless." What an inspiring moment for Denmark. Newspapers ran front-page headlines such as, "She stands again, Margrethe's return to Fredensborg. A crown without power, but full of grace. Denmark's grandmother shows the way forward." It wasn't just an event. It was an echo from the past, and a call toward a more united future. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.